Folks, we're not going to waste any time. There's someone special that's awaiting to come on, and Dog is chomping at the bit to get him on the mic. Let's go.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah!
Let's go, baby!
Let's not waste any time. Good morning. Welcome to the crazy, wacky Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have you all with us. And a welcome to those of you listening on WJKS based out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and to WSMM based out of my hometown of Chicago. This first hour is brought to you in part by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. The dog is here, Droid is on the way, Vicala is on the way, but we got somebody here that is very special, so you know this schedule got flipped upside down. All I'm going to say, and Dog's going to push the button to bring him in, is please welcome Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
Good Mark, welcome, my man. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you on finally.
Thank you. I'm glad to be able to make it happen. Short notice, and I'm just running on the fly today, so it's good to be with you guys.
we get it. Running on the fly. That's about what I've done in my broadcasting career for 30 years. I love it. I love it.
That's the truth. Vic got us hooked up here from Chicago. Vic, you came at a good time. Hey, Mark, thank you again for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, the man is a 5-time IROC champion, 4-time ASA champion, 2-time Southern 500 winner, 2002 Coca-Cola 600 winner, among many other accolades. Mark, first off, tell everybody how you got started in the business, my man.
Well, first of all, Vic, I spent a lot of time riding up and down the Dan Ryan Expressway in the 70s,
nice.
In the 70s and 80s.
I'm a Chicagoan to my heart.
Yep.
I can't imagine what it looks like now because, you know, that was
it's
the
crazy.
70s and 80s. I guess 86 was probably the last last time I ran up and down through there. But, you know, I raced up in Wisconsin. I lived in North Liberty, Indiana for 3 years. I lived in Wisconsin for 3 years. I raced up in Wisconsin. I was up and back and forth through Chicago all the time. My engines were actually built in Wheeling, Illinois. So we share a little bit in common with that.
That's an honor, man. That's an absolute honor.
It is. It is indeed. It is indeed an honor.
Yeah, and I mean the ASA days, like I said, 4-time champion. You had a stint in NASCAR in between your 80 and 86 championship. Talk to us about what it was like running the ASA for the championship in the 70s compared to what it was like in the 80s.
Well, so that's really how I got started. I accidentally got hooked up with the ASA because it was a terrific series in the 70s that ran long races, pit stop races, 200, 300, and 400 lap races, and was largely based Indiana and area, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan, and Illinois, all through there. So I was in Arkansas, born and raised in Arkansas, and I was racing in Arkansas, and they actually had a number of ASA races in Missouri where I was racing a lot. And all of a sudden I get a phone call from the owner and promoter of the ASA, American Speed Association, was Rex Robbins. He called me late in 1977, the year right after I graduated from high school, and he said, "Hey, look, man, you're a shoe-in. You've got Rookie of the Year won, but you have to run 50% of the races to be eligible." So I had to hook up and travel to the Minnesota State Fair and to Winchester, Indiana, and do the rest of the races on the schedule to win, to be eligible to win the Rookie of the Year. And that kind of put me on the map. It was a big deal. I was 18 years old at the time, and people thought that was super young to be competing against the nation's greatest short track drivers. So I just followed it up with the next year, racing for the championship, and actually won it. And I won it out of Arkansas. I was still living in Arkansas, and I blew up more engines in the tow truck than I did in the race car that year. We blew 3 engines in our Ford Cube van that year, trying to get to and from the races from Arkansas. So in '79, I moved to North Liberty, Indiana, just south of South Bend, and it was a much better centrally located, you know, and just continued to chase my fortune and fame.
Yeah, that led you into NASCAR early on, and it seemed like you were destined to make it in the sport early, but unfortunately, it seemed like there was a lot of sponsorship trouble, you know, through the early 80s that caused you to go back to the ASA days.
Yeah, what happened was I believed, because I had been so successful, that if I went and won in NASCAR, that the sponsors would come. Instead of getting the sponsors and then going NASCAR racing, which I couldn't do. I couldn't get the sponsors. My theory was, if I go do it, I will succeed like I did everywhere else. So I built a car that was really special, and that was very much like my, you know, late models, ASA cars and stuff, with a lot of those principles in it. And I went and did 5 races, and I sat on the pole in the 3rd race, and had led 2 races and finished 7th and 3rd in them. And I was like,
I think we lost them.
Oh
no!
I want to say he may have gotten a.
I think so.
I think he got a phone call.
Yeah, I think he might have. Give it a second.
Yeah, he got a phone call. So we'll
table that one for a minute.
We'll table that for a little bit. But dog, I know you were up and down excited.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, as soon as we see him pop back in, we'll keep that up. But yeah.
We'll resume when Mark comes back in. The craziness that is sports right now, because I got to tell you what Dog and I were doing. We were watching some old basketball clips, And we were watching some old cartoons to get warmed up for today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, just everything from Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck to 91 Bulls coverage.
Yep.
With
Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr, baby. With Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr. This is, it's just crazy to think of how time has flown by. And I sent a joking message to the crew this morning in group chat when I said, this getting old ish is not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not.
It's not for the faint of heart. I remember Victor called me on Christmas Day 23 when he turned 40,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Why am I 40?"
Right. Actually, what I say is now I have I can say what that guy says on Totally Deets. Come after me.
I'm a man. I'm 40. All right. Martin is
let's
back.
Let's pick this back up.
Martin is back, and
you gotta love technology. You gotta love technology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am absolutely the busiest retired guy you've ever seen.
I've kept up with a few things. I've seen it, Mark. Trust me.
I would love to have a job, but I don't have time for one. I'm so busy being retired. So anyway, I'm so sorry for that.
You're good, Mark. You're good.
I had actually a super modified racing legend try to call me there while we were on. But anyway, long story short, where we left off about doing those five races, and I thought it was going to happen, and so I went into the NASCAR deal kind of blind, not knowing what I was really getting into, and I failed. It fell flat on my, I got a sponsor, but it never paid, and so I wound up broke and had to start my career all over again. And it was a devastating blow, but it was an important learning process for me and humbling. And we're actually going to detail all that in a new book that we're about 2/3 of the way finished with, and I'm really, really excited about it because it's going to give people the insight into what happens prior to making it big. I finally got a second chance at NASCAR and was able to make it all the way from the dirt tracks in Arkansas to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. But the story of how I got there is what's really important.
Yeah, and that big story has probably at least 3-4 chapters with Jack Roush in it, because that is what you are known for, is that Valvoline 6 car. What was it like driving for Jack coming up through the 80s and 90s, seeing that team develop into what it is?
Well, there's a lot of things to talk about when I talk about Jack. First of all, I made my first way to NASCAR and really hit some high notes and then failed. And after that, nobody would give me a chance for 6 years. No one would give me a chance. So Jack gave me a chance. And we were building a team from scratch. And I never forgot that. I had opportunities to go with what might have been more successful operations, but I would never leave Jack because he gave me a chance when no one else would. So I stayed with him for 19 years. That's an important piece of the story. Number one. Number two, Jack was a really tough guy to get to know. It took us about 5.
Don't tell me the audio went.
What happened? I'll go out and come back in. Stand by, folks.
Okay.
Yep.
Mark.
Hang on.
I'm still hearing it.
Yeah, so am I.
We may have to table this. And, come back tomorrow. We're so sorry, folks. Mark, I am so sorry. We're having technical difficulties.
Hang on. Yeah, he's not. Hang on a second. I'll just DM him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get this figured out. Yeah, Mark, we're having technical difficulties. Hang on with us.
No, we didn't.
There's something going on. There's a weird buzz going here.
Yeah.
Mark's gonna have to go out and come back in.
Yeah.
Nope.
Cycle.
Recycle?
Yeah, I told Mark to cycle it. Just give him a second.
Okay. This would happen when we're live.
I know, right?
No, I thought I screwed Droid. I thought I screwed up the equipment.
No.
It's an
Mark's
audio
end.
bug.
It's a network issue. It's a network issue.
Yeah, we'll give Mark a second to pop off, pop back on.
And I think we got him. Okay, there we go.
Once again, you gotta love technology.
Right?
I don't know what happened there, guys.
It's a weird audio thing, man.
fine.
Don't worry about it. But
It's
dealing
all
with
right.
Jack,
Back to the dog and
Dealing
Mark Martin.
dealing with getting to know Jack, you were mentioning it was a hard road to haul when it came to him.
Yeah, Jack was a tough guy. He's got a big heart, and when he loves you, he loves you. But it took a long time for him to develop love for me. we had a challenging time, but golly, what a great guy! What a historical guy, and he was a very influential father type figure to me. And without him, I don't think my story would be anything like what it is today.
Yeah, and you guys were especially dominant on those bigger tracks, which, you know, coming from someone with the ASA background, you'd figure you'd have a little bit more success. But I was doing the research. Only 6 of your career wins came on the short tracks. What about your driving style fit the bigger tracks that NASCAR had, moreover than like Richmond, Bristol, and places like that?
So my career, I really learned. I always raced against people who were seniors to me. Like when I was a kid, I had to race against Larry Phillips. He was probably the Dale Earnhardt of short track racing, and I learned that I could beat him if I made my car better in handling wise in the turns. Same thing went with Dick Trickle. Same thing went with Dale Earnhardt. So I had always focused on corner speed. And if you look at a short track and then you look at a big speedway, a bigger track, the corners are just bigger. There's more opportunity there than there is on a little racetrack. And so I think the 1.5 mile racetracks were really, and 2 mile racetracks were my strong suit, where they were unrestricted, no restrictor plates, no restricting the speeds. And the corners were so big that you could make a bigger difference with a better handling car than you could on a smaller track. And that's my only way to, explain why we had so much good fortune.
Well, you also had that streak of 3 in a row at Watkins Glen. A lot of people, don't remember that because it was so long ago. What was it like to go 3 in a row at a place like Watkins Glen?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, we couldn't believe it. I never even saw that first pole coming in 93. We sat on the pole. We went out and qualified, and we came in and we had broke the track record for like 3/4 of a second. It was unbelievable. Challenge in the race, man. We had a lug nut round off, and it didn't look like we were going to be. We did multiple pit stops. We did pit stops where we couldn't get the the right rear tire changed, and I had an old tire on with 3 new ones and all kinds of stuff. But eventually we pulled it out. We were just on our game right then. We had a car that really worked, a setup that really worked, and we went back 2 years after that and sat on the pole and won the race. So we 3 consecutive poles, 3 consecutive wins, and I think I raced her 19 times and had 18 top 10 finishes. I mean, it was like ridiculous how good that we always ran there at the Glen.
Yeah, you definitely were one of the masters of the road courses when I was growing up watching, because I started watching in 1990 with my dad. He was a big senior fan. I was at the time rooting for Rusty Wallace and Old Midnight. That you got to talk a little bit about the rivalries that you had with guys like Earnhardt and Wallace, because you were seeing a lot of them up front in your time. When we were watching you. So, what was it like racing those two guys pretty much every Sunday?
Well, it was brutal to try to get a win because you had to go through Earnhardt, you had to go through Wallace, Bill Elliott, awesome Bill from Dawsonville, and so many other great racers as well. So Jeff Gordon and whatnot. So it was a tough time to get wins, but there's a lot more to the story about Rusty Wallace in my book. He comes up in nearly every chapter for the first half of the book because Rusty and I started racing together at the Springfield, Missouri Fairgrounds every Friday night in 1977. So Rusty and I raced short tracks and late models every week all over the place well before we got to NASCAR. And Rusty and I had a relationship that was honest. We shared setup information, and we were friendly. We were friends all the way through from 77 to 2006 when he 2005 at the end of 05 when he retired. So we had a great relationship, but we raced fiercely on the racetrack.
Yeah, it seems like you battle your friends a lot harder than you battle your enemies on track, just to have that bragging rights package over them.
Yeah, for sure.
You seem to also have a career resurgence in 2009. What was it like working with Hendrick Motorsports?
It was like going to NASA. I mean, I would go to the shop and I'd come home and my wife would say, "Why are you smiling, so much?" And it's like, you don't understand. This is like going to NASA. I mean, it's unbelievable. The engineers, the level of expertise and quality. I was teammates with Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jimmy Johnson, some of the greatest of all time. I mean, and I worked with some of the greatest. Alan Gustafson was absolutely brilliant. And my race team that I drove for was so excited. I mean, I was old. I was 50 years old. And I shouldn't have even gotten that opportunity. I don't know why they wanted me to come drive that car so much, but they really did. And the guys that worked on the team were so excited to have me drive the car. It was just electric every time that I went to the shop or went to the racetrack. And the results showed it. I mean, the car was an absolute rocket ship.
Yeah, 4 wins in 2009, including the Southern 500. They're getting ready to run Darlington here coming up shortly. What is it about that track that is so special?
Correction, it was 5 wins.
Oh, and, 5. My mistake.
Yeah, it's all good. 5 wins, and I think it was 7 poles, 6 or 7 poles. So, we were just fast. And racing at Darlington is definitely the most mental it's the most mental racetrack that we probably race on. It's pretty physical too, but not as physical as say Bristol or Dover. But the mental aspect of it is so challenging because the racetrack is so hard to get around without getting into the wall. If you run at 100%, there's no way you're gonna get through 500 miles and not get a Darlington stripe scrub on the side of your car. And it's so easy that when you get into the wall to do damage to the suspension, you can get away with it if it's a light hit, especially if it's the right rear mostly. But if you get that right front in the wall very hard at all, it will do damage and ruin your day. So you've got 500 miles of battling, and you always have to keep that in the mind, the back of your mind. And maybe you race at 90% instead of 100 to try to make it all the way to the end.
Right. And again, you mentioned that Darlington stripe and everyone, getting to it. And it kind of cycles in for me because being a 5-time IROC champion, IROC ran there a couple of times in its lifespan. What made the IROC racing so special for you to be able to conquer it and get the title 5 different times?
It was equal cars. You never ran out of gas, and you never had bad pit stops because you didn't have pit stops. So I lost an enormous amount of races with blown up motors and bad pit stops and running out of fuel. I mean, enormous amount of races. In those races, I didn't have to worry about that. You get in it and drive
Right.
it. They were less power than a NASCAR Cup car, and so it was super critical to keep your corner speeds up, center your corner speed up, and momentum, which I started really cultivating back in my ASA days. Center of the corner for me was more important than entry, and sometimes even exit. And in my Cup car for the first 10 years, we were underpowered a lot versus our competition. So it paid great dividends to make that corner speed happen. So that was my expertise. That's why bush racing and truck racing was also strong for me. My strong suit was center of the corner speed, car handling. I was real nuts and bolts guy. I can still tell you the spring setup, the chassis setup. That I won 1989 Rockingham race or 1993 Phoenix race in the Cup car. I can give you chassis setups from the 70s and 80s of my ASA cars. I knew every piece of lead and every spring and every shock on my race car. That was my life. That's what made the difference in winning and losing. So that was really important to me.
You just brought up knowing everything you put into that car. With me following you on social media, I've seen you talk about the setups in these cars before, going that far back to your ASA days. And I just sit back and I'm like scratching my head, like, does he have this all in his head, or does he actually have the notebooks for this? Because this is just insane to figure this knowledge out, because it's seeing a full life involvement right here.
Yeah, there's no notebooks, none. It's just memory. Like the Busch car that we won all those races with at Darlington, give or take, adjustment for any event. It was 1,800 right front spring rate, 1,200 left front, 400 right rear, and 350 left rear. 10 and 11 inches on the Panhard bar, inch and eighth front bar, and about 51.8 nose weight. And I could tell you the shock builds too. I just, that was important. What I had for lunch yesterday wasn't important, and I don't know what it was. But the things that made the difference in winning and losing, I never forgot.
That's the biggest key right there for anybody, is keeping those differences together. Before we let you get out of here, and we appreciate you putting up with all these bugs that we've had for all of this, what do you got coming up? Because I thought I heard your name mentioned in an IROC run coming up here shortly.
Yeah, so we're going out in August. We're going out to Monterey, to Laguna Seca, for a IROC, reunion and little race out there. And I'm going to participate in it. I'm not going to call myself racing, but I'm going to be out there with a bunch of other veterans, and we're really excited about it. Laguna Seca is a racetrack I've never been to. Seen it on TV. Has a huge historical value to me. So I'm really excited about doing that event. I'm also going up to Wisconsin in May 4th to Madison to sign autographs and to celebrate Joe Shear, who was a great Wisconsin racer. And then I'm going up in Wisconsin in June 19th to Wisconsin International, and going to sign autographs and get inducted into the Wisconsin Racers Hall of Fame up there as well. So we've got a lot going on. Matt, my son, is operating the markmartinarchive.com. You need to go and check things out there because we've got a lot of stuff going. We got the book in the works. We've got historical race cars being restored right now. JR10 that won our very first race, mine and Jack Roush's first race in 1989 at Rockingham. It's also being restored right now. So that's going to be hitting the social media really soon. So follow us, check us out.
Yeah, you mentioned the JR10. We can't stop there. There's one other car that brings back so many memories, and that's JR51. The infamous car you guys have.
Yeah, we have that car, and it's running. It starts and runs. We go over. It's in Batesville right now. We go over every once in a while, fire it up, and drive it around the dealership and all, just to exercise it. In the future, we're gonna have those two, JR10 and JR51, in my shop where I keep my motor coach. So I'm building that shop right now. Really excited. Maybe a year and a half from now, we're going to have really a showpiece to really show badass motor coach and two of the most historical cars of my career, all in one. And we're actually going to have a podcast room, so we'll be able to do podcasts from there as well.
Hey, if you get that up and going, return the favor. I got to jump on there with you sometime, and we can talk a little sim racing.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, Mark, I truly appreciate it, man. I've been fighting goosebumps the last 20 minutes because of how awesome this is. Personally, for me, I can't thank you enough for coming on. When that book gets ready to hit, jump on with us. Promote the hell out of it, man. We'd love to have you back.
And I want a signed copy of that book. I would love to have that.
You got that, Vic. We'll plan on it, man. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate you, bud.
Enjoyed you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
You know,
I've got goosebumps, dude.
I'm cutting the daylights out of this. I'm cutting the daylights out of this. I got nothing else.
That's incredible, man.
We gotta go to break. I've got goosebumps.
Let's take a break so guys can stop floating.
Yeah,
because right now, dog is on cloud 19.
Cloud 19, nothing. Cloud 99.
Yeah,
okay. If we're gonna talk about any clouds, it's cloud 60 to match up with his Busch car. How's that?
There you go.
There you go.
I saw that laugh, Mark. I saw that.
There it is. Let's
roll the long package, and when we get back, we'll come back with the shenanigans, and Droid will be ready to join up with us as well.
Yep, we got it. And thank you, Mark Martin, for jumping on this morning. We are so blessed to have you come on. Yeah, I got to go get some coffee because I got to calm down.
Let's roll the long package, man.
Dog, before we go to break, listen, dog, you did a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
Even through the technical difficulties, and this is what people don't understand about what we do here. Mm-hmm. When I first started this show, I can't tell you how many technical difficulties I ran through.
Bugs and glitches,
glitches and all that kind of stuff. And then also, this show was started in my mom's house with a mixer, a headset mic, and a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And no one thought it would last this long. Now here we are in season 11. We just had a Hall of Famer come on. Okay. Yep. We had a Texas Radio Hall of Famer come on, and my dear friend Bill Schoenig.
Mm-hmm.
I surprised the crew with an interview with the legendary Wayne Larrivee.
Right.
Droids popped in with the voice of the Lions
yes.
for us.
Yeah, Dan. Listen, Droid, we owe you a lot of thanks too for giving us that
There he is.
interview with Dan the Man Miller.
Man, that interview was a whole different story. You know, you were asking all the good questions, but man, I was shocked. I was like, he actually responded in the first place because for those who don't know the story behind that, so one day I was in the VC with one of my good VTuber friends, Trua. She's a Lions fan. I was like, I'd love to have Dan Miller on. She's like, you know what? Shoot your shot. So I did, and it's history from there.
Yeah. Same thing with me with Wayne Larrivee. Now the story with somebody asked me before the show to tell the story about how I met Wayne Larrivee. Here is the complete story, and I've left out a few details. I'm going to put them in my book, Diary of a Mad Snowman. But here's the complete story. I was covering UIC women's basketball at the time, 2013. I was going through a lot of mess with my mother. All right, because my mother wanted me to give up my dream. So I just told her, and this was after my daughter was born and after the split happened because of her family. I'll tell you all about that a little later. I took the bus to Indianapolis armed with only my equipment because I couldn't ride with the team. They had gone a day early. So I figured I'll take a 3-hour trip. Slept all the way there, walked from the bus station to Hinkle Fieldhouse. And by the way, it snowed. I came in, I'm setting up everything, and then I see someone very familiar to me. Not only world champion Dickie Simpkins, but Wayne Larrivee. So to borrow from Droid, I wanted to meet him. And I told myself, shoot your shot. I went over there. I said, Wayne, my name is Brian. I am a big fan of your work. And he shook my hand and took a picture with me. The coolest part about that day is when he walked by me and said, should your team win, you have to use my catchphrase. And he gives me a fist bump. So when the women won, I did. I said, they on a free throw, they were up 5 with like 30 seconds left. I said, the dagger is in.
Nice.
Then and we have kept in contact, Wayne and I. And then one night, I messaged him. I said, I'd love to have you on the show if you're available. And like Droid with Dan Miller and Dog with Mark Martin, I didn't think he'd respond. Ha!
Well, the crazy part about Dan Miller was that he responded almost instantly.
And that's what happened with me and Wayne. I sent the message late one night and I headed to bed. 30 seconds before I climbed in bed, I get a message saying, what time do you want me? What?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? And he said, what time you want me? I said, top of the second hour, 12:05 Eastern. Yeah, my next message made me not sleep for 3 hours when he said, okay, huh?
Literally,
What?
Brian, you and I were getting ready today when I was updating Mark about our schedule. And then literally he says, yeah, I can try to do things today. Okay, here's the link.
And then he just popped on.
Right at the start.
We were getting ready to start the show. Matter of fact, we started early.
Yeah, we had to. We went 2 minutes early, got everything going.
Right.
And that was all because we saw Mark pop in backstage, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me, dude. And you were like, I was like, dude, he's here. You instantly said, let's go.
Yep. Because we're gonna mess that up. And like you, Dog, with Mark, me with Wayne Larrivee, and I surprised the guys when Wayne popped in, and the guys didn't know. So I said, please help me welcome the legendary announcer, play-by-play announcer, Wayne Larrivee. I think the rest of the crew wanted to hit me.
I think that was the same way when Dan Miller joined. I remember you just staring into the camera and be like, Droid, what did you do? I'm like, I did nothing. What are you talking about?
Wait. What's our phrase now? So I did a thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
What you mean?
Exactly.
Pretty much.
All right, we'll take our halftime break now. We'll get reset again. Mark Martin, thank you very much for coming on. We'll roll the big package. I'm gonna go get some coffee, some more stuff to munch on. Snowman in the morning will reset after having a Hall of Famer on in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn.
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meat of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light-optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Sports bettors, listen up. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back and in our 30th year of action. With live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props and parlays, fast payouts, and exceptional one-to-one customer service, we got it all. And when you sign up today and use the code SNOWMAN, you will get a 125% deposit match on your deposit. Log on to betus.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. BetUS.com, where the game begins. Attention sports fans, looking for the ultimate gear and apparel to show your team pride? Look no further than Fanatics, the #1 destination for sports enthusiasts. Visit snowmanmultimediasports.com today and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams and players. From jerseys to hats to accessories to collectibles, Fanatics has it all. Don't miss out on the chance to elevate your game day experience. Head over to snowmanmultimediasports.com/fanatics and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
It's no secret. Today's consumer wants convenience and likes things on the go. They want to be listened to and receive instant solutions to their queries. This can often make or break the customer service experience. That's why it makes convenient interactions easy for you. Whether your customers want to connect with you via text, Facebook Messenger, Google, Instagram, or website, all messages now come to the one easy-to-use inbox, so you don't have to check a dozen different sites from the platform. From here, you can send SMS or email, answer questions, schedule appointments, take payments, and close more deals simply by messaging back and forth with your customers. When someone searches for a business like yours, they will look at your reviews. So unless you have more positive reviews, they'll choose someone else. Luck makes it easy to collect hundreds or even thousands of reviews from your customers. Simply send a review invitation or create automation that requests customer reviews right after the sale, or maybe right after a service is completed. It will take them 30 seconds or less to leave the review. Now those reviews will show up on the search result and increase your ranking that matters most. Plus, our advanced reporting will show you exactly where your leads are coming from and if your website or ads are doing their job. So why are you waiting? Put your business way in front of your competitors, get more leads, convert more of those leads to paying customers by getting started with today.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
The dog
Folks,
is not back.
I'm going to have to step away for a minute because my set's trying to come apart.
Uh-oh.
And the last time that happened, I did not respond very well.
Oh, boy.
But I'm going to respond again to it. I'm going in the lab, folks. Hold on. What the hell is that I'm hearing?
I'm shaking up a powdered drink.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't do it this way. I got to do it the other way.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Hold on, folks.
Nope, there it goes. I'm sorry. Is that scream? Is that?
Fuck all of this.
Language.
This is me fighting with my set.
Oh no.
It's so hard to put this thing together. And now it's coming apart on me. How the hell with it? Okay. How the hell with it? There. Doggone it.
Oh, watch, it's coming, it's coming. I tried to warn you.
He doesn't have his headphones on, Vic.
I know.
trying.
This is Whitney Young all over again.
I was just gonna say that too.
This is Whitney Young all over again.
Victor,
I'm gonna let you tell that story while I fight with this thing and get it put away.
Okay.
I'll just use the backdrop my wife created
Gotcha.
from here on out.
Gotcha. So
I'm leaving this here till you tell that story. I'm leaving this right here. We got live B-roll on the air. Dog's not back yet.
Right.
All right. So we'll stop.
So we're
go ahead, Victor.
We're doing a volleyball game at Whitney Young.
Mm-hmm.
And Snowman, we got all set up, and I think we're midway through the second game. No, midway through the first game.
Yep.
And we just hear this,
and we're both looking around like, what the hell?
It's kind of every little bit. It's like, all of a sudden, someone's like, "Oh no!" And as soon as he said that, the chair splits.
Yes.
And Snowman's on the ground. He sat there, kept his headset on, folded his arms in protest.
I did.
And said, I'm going to call the game through here. He literally looked under the table and called the rest of the game.
The athletic director, Chris Cassidy, comes flying in with a chair.
Right.
And he sees me under the table still calling the match. He put the chair down, laughed his ass off,
right,
and walked away. And I said, Mr. Cassidy, I'm so sorry this happened.
It wasn't your fault.
He's crying from laughter. Here's the crazy part. The volleyball match went all 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Whitney Young trailed 2-0, won the match 3-2. From the middle of the second game on, after my chair crashed, I was under the table, folded my arms in protest, like Victor said. I was careful not to stick my legs out so people don't trip over my size 15s. I did the match under the table. I didn't care.
They said Indy saw the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And called the match.
Yep.
And this segment of Snowman in the Morning is brought to you by Deemed Fit. Deemed for the fearless. Use code SITM for 50% off your first purchase. Deemed Fit, made by first responders to support first responders.
Yes,
and Deemed Fit for you, Deemed Fit for the world. Again, use the code SITM for 15% off your first purchase.
Okay.
All purchases, sir.
All purchases. Thank you.
It's not just your first purchase.
Yeah, I got to write that down. I'm sorry. But Victor can really.
I can vouch for you.
Yeah, you can vouch because I've been through some ish.
Yeah.
Craziest 30 years.
Craziest moments.
This year will be my 30th year in sportscasting.
The craziest moment I think I've ever had on this show. We were getting ready for a 2:00 start.
Yes.
I came in at noon to kind of go over what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Alvin shows up later. Derek shows up last.
Oh, God.
We're getting... It's now 30 minutes to showtime.
Yes.
We got into the server. Got into the studio.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the computer restarts.
And when it restarted.
When we restarted, Droid, the screen was upside down.
That some bitch was upside down.
We were like, what happened?
Matter of fact, where's the button I need? We all saw that when the computer booted up or rebooted, as a matter of fact. We saw that And all four of us are sitting there going,
"What in the all types of blue hell
was that?"
Happened? So
go ahead, Victor. Go ahead.
We're sitting there like, what happened? And we tried everything. We tried to do everything. Nothing worked. I said, okay. Did you install something recently? And someone's like, yeah, just install a new program. I said, we're going to do a system restore.
Mm-hmm.
Because chances are that is what's causing the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So we hit a system restore, and with 5 minutes left before show started, the screen was back to where it needed to be. But when we saw the screen upside down,
oh Lord, upside down, folks.
Jeez.
We got the blue screen of death,
Whoops.
fixed it, and then turned it
upside down.
back on. That sumbitch went upside down.
Man, that just sounds like a long ass Friday night to me.
I said this. This is one of those shows where the brosexuals are just trying to sabotage every doggone thing.
Everything.
LeBron came in with his little hacker buddies and said, "Screw you guys, I'm doing this."
Yep.
The set that you see behind me was designed by my beautiful wife, with all the signs that she would get, and
That's
she got most
beautiful.
of these signs. Y'all won't believe where she got most of these signs.
Where?
Ready? Goodwill.
Ah, yeah.
Nice.
Goodwill has a lot of great stuff.
Got them from Goodwill. Of course, you see the famous football sign behind me. That was one of the first things she got me. And then all of my little knickknacks until I get like a big camera that will show it, like how Dan Patrick has. All my knickknacks that she bought me are back on the dresser back there. But that's the setup that I'm rolling with from now on, because this sumbitch is done. unless I get some glue for it. And yes, you all saw me sit through Victor telling the story with that set on top of my head.
Right.
Ah, jeez.
Lord have mercy.
What we've been through. Vic and I worked together, what, 25 years?
25 years.
25 years. Vic and I worked together 25 years, as long as we've been friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, one time, Victor got even with me because I put him on assignment when he said he wasn't ready.
Yep.
I called Alvin. I said, Alvin, I need a favor. He says, what's that? I need you to cover a PA assignment for me. He said, I can't do it because I'm on assignment. Bleep. Well, who can we get? He said, call Victor. What? He said, call Victor. He's ready. But I don't think he's ready. Trust me. I called Victor. I gave him the details. I gave him the pay. And he said, you ain't getting me into this.
Because I took my vacation from UPS.
Yes.
And I just took that just to decompress, because UPS was a very, very stressful job.
Oh, yeah. Anybody who's worked UPS knows how stressful it is.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this whole week to just decompress. I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to probably hang out at Moraine with my friends, and I'm coming home, and I'm sleeping the rest of the day.
Except the one day I got him.
It was 2 days.
Oh, it was 2 days.
It was Tuesday and Wednesday. You called me on Monday.
Yep.
And said,
help.
I said, hey, are you busy? I'm like, actually, I have a whole week of vacation. Good. Oh, crap. I said another word, but I can't say it here.
And for some reason, Victor knew I had an evil smile on my face.
Yeah. He said, I kind of need a little bit of help. I'm like, what do you need? Well, see, there's a basketball game going on at Harlan. I said, no.
He did.
I just said,
Lord have mercy.
no.
He did. He did.
No, and no. You know what I say? You want me to do a PA job, don't you? Oh, yeah. Originally, I thought I was going to say color. I'm like, okay, is it a color job? No. What is it then? Public address? No. Absolutely not.
Thank you, AJ Brzezinski. Mark Burley, rather.
Mark Burley. I've only done color. I've never done public address. That's your job. That's your gig. I can't do it. Why not?
I'm double booked.
Whitney Young.
Yep. I was double booked.
After about a spirited hour-long conversation.
Where eventually we were both laughing at all this mess.
Yep. I finally said, okay. Go ahead, Snowman. Take it away.
Well, I'm doing my game at Whitney Young. I get a phone call. And I see Victor's number, and I'm going, oh, boy. He's going to yell at me. And sure enough, when I open the phone and put it to my ear, Victor turned into Ren Hoek.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know something? Yes, Victor. I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you.
And I calmly, and I was trying not to laugh. I was trying my hardest not to laugh.
Right.
And I said, Victor. And as soon as I said Victor, I did this. And he goes, what? I said, what happened? Victor said, well, there's a name I tried to pronounce. I said, oh, no.
And I hit it. Definitely, I hit it perfectly.
I said, oh, no. Victor gonna beat me up for this.
Oh, yeah. I was still mad.
Oh, he was pissed. He was pissed. And all Victor would say is, I'm going to kill you.
Like when I see you, it's on sight.
Uh-huh. He was going to pound me into the dirt until the young lady whose name he thought he had trouble pronouncing came up to him excitedly.
Yeah. Now I was shocked. Like,
that's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why are you so? You got it right perfectly. Wait, what? I did?
Now look, meanwhile, Victor is thinking of ways to put me in the dirt.
Yes.
And the girl's name was Joanna Heidemann Piper.
Yes. Joanna Heinemann Piper. Yes.
Victor looked at that name and went, what the hell is that?
Like, there's no way I'm getting this correct.
I'm saying Victor took a look and said, what the hell is that? Everybody's ringing. What the hell?
Yeah, that's my alarm.
The only one who ain't ringing is me.
That was my alarm.
Mm.
No, I got all my stuff on silent, and I just check it, during commercials or what have you. And
yeah,
I did happen to get another DM from Mark post show, and it said, "Come on anytime." He just threw a few, emojis at me that were like, "Yeah, nice. I'm in."
Yeah,
so
cool. Love you, Mark Martin, for coming on today. Back to what Victor went through with Joanna Heidemann Piper, who bounced up to him excitedly, gave him a hug, and said thank you. Then he got a hug from his parents, and then he called me back and he said, "Now I'm really gonna kill you." Like, what? She said, not only did I get the name right, her parents were impressed. And at that moment, I knew I messed up, because Victor knocked out the job at Harlan while I knocked out my job at Whitney Young that afternoon, and then later went to Brother Rice to call a Brother Rice game because they were getting toward the end of the season. The next time Victor saw me, it was not pretty.
Oh, boy.
Because he called me and said, "Can you come up to Moraine Valley College for a little bit?" Sure. I walk in and I'm thinking, okay, I can grab some food and I can wait for him. I gets yanked by my neck before I made it into the cafeteria. And Victor just looked at me and said, "I'm kicking your ass." I said, "Why?" He goes, "You knew what you were doing when you put that job on me." Well, I told you I was double booked. Then Victor's lady shows up and he melts like a pound of butter. The same way I melt whenever Jody comes through this door. We're sharing broadcast stories on this wacky Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning, which kicked off with Hall of Famer Mark Martin joining us. We had technical difficulties. We got through the technical difficulties. Everybody's phone was trying to ring, including mine, but we got through it. And I'm going to cut the daylights out of that interview. And as soon as I cut it, dog, I will send it to you and I'll let you pass it on to Mark.
Oh, for sure.
And yes, Sick Diggy, who joins us from Norway, it was indeed beauty that tamed the raging beast. Because I really thought Victor was going to throw me out of a window. I tell you, I'm going to tell y'all this one. Since I'm sharing broadcast stories,
It's a wacky Wednesday. Why not?
Why not? I took a trip to Kansas City. Chicago State was playing University of Missouri, Kansas City. I get there to Kemper Arena after I had some barbecue, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I had some barbecue at a place right down the way from Kemper Arena. I get to Kemper Arena thinking, okay, there's not going to be a media room available because it's a big arena. That's profiling.
And
profiling is
wrong.
You know what they had in that media room besides all the notes I would need? Barbecue. Lots of it. I said, oh, dear God. I just had some barbecue. But screw it. I'm going to have a sample of this. Now, I get to my place. I get to my seat. I'm setting up. I plug in the microphone. And the plug into the recorder collapses. It fell apart.
Damn.
And I'm just sitting there looking at this thing. And I'm going, now what? I don't know what the hell to do. So one of the guys at UMKC says, we got a spare if you need it. I looked at my mic and I looked at him and I said, I think I'm going to need it. He brought it to me, did the game. All good from there. All right, we're going to take our real halftime break, but it'll be a short one. And when we come back, there's some people I need to deal with.
Oh no. It is.
I'm glad we led off with Mark, because if we're going to end up doing it this way, you know what, everybody, we're going to be back in a deuce.
Yes.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code SNOWMAN for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family. So the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Quinn. Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP.
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger.
And then you have Ray J. Like, I
Look at
can't
Ray
stand
J.
that River Cricket.
The Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays, so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Having fun listening to my wife with that southern twang.
Mm.
And we've had a wacky Wednesday.
We have.
Stories.
We've had a wacky Wednesday. I told you all the story where Mark Farina and I tried to get out of the stadium before they turned the lights off. Didn't make it.
Nope.
Didn't make it. I ran into a couch. Nearly flipped upside down. I nearly ran into a table that's lower than me.
I remember the first time Snowman had left me and Derek in charge of a doggone interview.
Oh boy.
They hated me for that one.
Because the thing was that we always kind of had the same idea that you're going to take care of the post-game interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Not this time. We finished the game, and you had already told the coach to come by.
Yep.
And he said, I'll be right back. We're thinking he's just going to the bathroom, come right back.
No. I went and sat up in the stands.
You went and grabbed pizza and sat in the stands.
Yep.
I said, all right, screw it. I told Derek to play it. We started talking. I started asking questions. And then after that, he came back and said, y'all did good. Shut up.
Oh, my gosh.
Mr. McCoffey has a question for Droid.
I bet it was Shane who made the thumbnail. No, it was me who made the thumbnail. McCarthy says, "Good day, Snow Crew. Is Joy checking in from a doctor's office?" No, he's checking in from a library.
Shout
with a
out
professional setup.
to Topeka Public Library for letting me use their studio.
Nice. Nice. Very nice.
McCarthy. It was me. Son of a bitch.
You knew that was a knee-jerk reaction from JR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that's the best one, is a complete knee-jerk reaction. As soon as that thing comes off and Vince starts opening his mouth, son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's one of the most iconic lines right there at that point.
It really is. It really is.
It is.
Between that one and, of course, when the NWO drove a semi through the ambulance with the Rock in it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no, you gotta stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are they supposed to do?
Exactly.
But we didn't get. I didn't get a chance to hear Dog's reaction. Stephon Diggs, now a Patriots.
Oh, I remember. Okay, Dog, you can tell him how you found out.
Because Joy said this.
Droid freaking calls me up about 7:30 last night to tell me this.
He did the same thing to me.
Mind you, I'm half asleep. He tells me all this, and I'm like, well, there are so many better people that New England could have gotten. Why do we get Diggs? And it's like, come on here. I know Drake doesn't have any weapons, but one of this hot-headedness, really?
Right. I was like, I guess this will make Dog happy. And he said,
No.
yes. Stephon's not happy. I'm like, well, no, he's going to.
No,
win
okay,
win.
listen. I told this is what I told Victor. He was like, "Oh, at least Dog's happy." I was like, "No, he's not. No, he's not."
I said Stephon was happy. Like, yeah, Stephon's not happy. Look where he's going. Of course, he's not happy.
He forgot Brady wasn't there, and then also Russell Wilson to the Giants too.
Russell,
wow.
I laughed. I howled.
Back that truck up a second. Russell Wilson went to the Giants.
I howled.
Yes, Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited's about to find out what it's like to play in a market that doesn't think he is.
Me and Jody were laughing our asses off at that.
I howled. I'm like, the Giants just can't. The Giants just get in their own way as well, just like the Lakers. They get in their own damn way.
Oh yeah.
I mean, granted, you couldn't do worse than Daniel Jones. And then New York Giants said, "Oh, we'll find a way."
New York Giants said, "Hold my beer."
Exactly.
Russell Wilson.
Can't get any worse than Daniel Jones. New York Giants up front office. We're playing Madden. Hold my beer.
Mm-hmm.
They took a page from the Jets playbook.
Yeah, they did.
Write a receipt for that one.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
And is it true that Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler? Or am I tripping?
Is that confirmed?
I don't know.
No.
Let me take a look.
Those talks broke down like a while back.
Okay, they broke down.
Okay.
I was like, Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler? What? Why?
You know, your name tree wouldn't be happy.
You dumb messed up, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron said, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to Pittsburgh."
At least he has some sense.
Yeah.
Now Pittsburgh's probably going to end up having to draft a quarterback.
They have no choice. They're better off doing that though.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yes,
you had Russell Wilson and Justin Fields,
and they both left town.
Mm-hmm. Justin Fields is a Jet. Oh God.
So New York gets Pittsburgh's leftovers.
Mm-hmm. Dear Lord in heaven.
That doesn't say much for New York.
No, it does not.
No,
it absolutely does not.
Your Colts may be happy.
Oh,
you signed the Topeka native Corey Ballantyne.
Yep. And Shavarius Ward, former 49er, is an Indy.
Wow.
But
But
Daniel Jones.
Jones, where did he end up?
Indianapolis.
In Indy.
Daniel Jones ended up in Indy.
Yes.
Yes. Indy signed. And
Yeah.
Dietz predicted this.
Dietz did predict it.
Dietz predicted this. Daniel Jones. They said the Colts should trade for Daniel Jones. Well, son of a bitch, if they didn't do that.
They trade for oh my god.
Daniel Jones
is in
Indianapolis.
Oh boy. I asked Snowman when that news came in, I said, how long did Dr. K cuss up a storm?
I never answered your question.
No, you didn't.
She's still cussing up a storm.
Yeah, I thought so.
I was about to say about as long as it took for this to happen.
Yeah.
Ryan McCarthy strikes again.
That was the first thing she said.
Ryan McCarthy strikes again. Indiana Jones.
Of course.
You know it's going to be a thing.
The first thought was damn. The second thought for Indiana Jones going to Indy was this.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
So, I asked
if there is a true quarterback competition between Daniel Jones and AR5, I'll welcome it.
Well, I was going to ask that question. Like, on a serious note, what does Indiana think they're going to get from Daniel Jones?
We don't know. But I am going to do my best to get my good buddy Matt Taylor on the show to talk about that more toward the draft.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's a couple of folks that we're going to talk to. But I might even get Dr. K in on the fun.
Oh boy.
Because I found something out.
What?
Guess who Indianapolis has to host this year?
Huh.
The 49ers.
Really?
Yep.
Civil War in the Snowman household.
Yeah. Dat.
Oh boy.
In the ever immortal words.
Now I already asked Jody, would she come on for a few Colts games? She said, "Sure, I'll see what happens." But in the fall, and Victor, you know this from meeting her in person. In the fall, like during the Indian summer, her allergies kick into high gear.
Yeah.
Because when we went to Soldier Field, oh my gosh.
Boy, howdy. I was a mess and a half anyway.
Me too. I don't know how I got through that game without sneezing.
That whole situation was a mess and a half anyway, because there were a lot of administrative issues.
Let's talk about that game.
That situation was not handled well at all.
When we got there, this is our adventure in Chicago. When we got there, it was 89 bleeping degrees.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was hot. It was humid.
And the thing was, they originally told us 11:30 doors are going to open. By at least 2:00, the game should be ready to start. Because they wanted people to go out and kind of enjoy all the different like pep rallies and dance numbers and all that. So they want people to enjoy the outside for a little bit before they went in.
Now there's a situation that Victor pointed out to me later on.
Yeah.
There was a radio station, I think it was Power 92.
Power 92.
It was Power 92. They were in their tent screaming their heads off about a raffle.
Yeah, like every 30 seconds, they were on the megaphone talking about a raffle.
Then me and Jody walked by.
Come get your tickets. Come get to the raffle. I saw Snowman and Jody, gave him a hug and everything. For the next 5 minutes, that tent was silent.
Mm-hmm. Jody and I silenced Power 92 for about 10 minutes. And then we get there. We get there. I'm running around trying to find water because Jody is about to pass out.
Yeah, because the doors could not be opened. We were told to go to three separate gates to go in.
Walk back to one, walk to the other, finally walk back to the main gate where they finally set up a tent.
Mm-hmm.
And these fools didn't want to give my wife a chair when her legs were on the verge of going.
Right.
Well, the security guard came to the rescue with a bottle of water and a chair. They finally opened the thing.
I opened the door.
We finally opened the door. I told Victor and company, take my bags and go upstairs.
Go find the booth.
Go find the booth. I'm staying with Jody.
Yeah.
So me and Jody sat for about 20 minutes. And she said, okay, I'm ready to go. I said, are you sure? Yes, I'm ready to go. The cool air helped. And it did for both of us. So we're going by one of the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we get all the stairs.
Oh, boy.
We get upstairs to the booth. And the boys are getting me set up. I fire up the computer. And my intern said, are we still going to do an hour-long pregame? I said, hell no.
No.
Everybody sit back and relax. We're not going on air until 2:45.
And the thing is that when you go in, it's a beautiful facility. It's
wonderful.
The booth looks amazing. One problem. So on the right side, there was this huge cooler
filled with
bottles of water. They had the soda fountain there. None of it was open. No, instead they wanted you to go downstairs to the United Club, which is like their big restaurant concessions area, and pay $7 for a bottle of water.
Anyone think this was a good idea?
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Nope.
I was so aggravated.
You were aggravated.
They gave us a box lunch, which was nice. Sandwich, apple, chips. I'm like, water. We needed.
I need water. And I was about to go again.
Right.
Because even though I was cooled off, I didn't have any water.
Right.
I'm trying to warm up. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. And finally, my buddy James McCallum, one of my dearest friends, raced out, got some water, got a Pepsi for me, and came back. Got a water for me and a water for Jody. Now we get to the program.
So the program had basically, it had everything. If you never went to Chicago, you were a damn near scholar by the time you looked at this program. It had the history of Chicago. It had all of the politicians, the mayor, the governors, the aldermen, every single person that you would claim to want to know in Chicago, you were going to find out about, right? Then we get to the rosters.
I was about to say, including Abe Froman.
Yep.
Damn.
Shut up.
Then
I was just thinking about that. Shut up.
Then we get to the roster.
Or lack thereof.
You have two teams. One team had a damn near full roster.
Yep.
Their position, their numbers, everything.
Mississippi Valley State.
Yep. The other team did not.
No.
What the hell?
These cheap individuals decide they're going to take a screenshot of their website and picture.
And stick it in where the...
Yes. So all you had was literally where it says, click down here.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
I know you're not. I was
which led to the hilarious joke of, where's the bleeping roster?
We all said, and James is sitting in back of me smiling because he was going to pull a fast one on me and send me the old roster from last year or the year before, I beg your pardon.
Right.
I said, no, I said, don't do that. I mean, we were sitting there for a good 10 minutes going, we got everything we need. Oh, there's a question about Central State. What's that? Where's the fucking roster?
Exactly.
We were saying that for a good 15 minutes. Jody couldn't stop laughing. Matter of fact, Jody, who is also my social media mistress, posted that on Facebook.
All he was saying was, "Where's the roster?"
Mm-hmm.
Snowman actually.
I would have been looking at them like seriously.
English,
do you speak it?
We were so doggone mad this entire time. I was like, let's just get this game over with.
Luckily, I already had the rosters because the coaches emailed them to me as well as their game notes. So I got the notes. I emailed them to the guys that were calling the game with me. And of course, they were 10 minutes late.
And
3 o'clock start.
The other thing that got me was when we got in, we asked one of the people from the itinerary, we said, do you know if there's a free Wi-Fi password we need, or if there's a free Wi-Fi network we need to connect to? We never got back from that person. We never heard back from that person.
No. And I even asked, is there a way I can connect through Ethernet? Because I saw the connection there, and I'm familiar with Soldier Field, so I knew which connection it was. You know, that bitch never got back to us.
Nope. Never got back.
That bitch never came back. And I'm sorry for using that word, but she was a bitch. She was rude to my crew. She was rude to my wife.
And all that was playing in your head was,
man.
Right back, gents.
Man.
and then there was a whole giant case.
Stop it. Get some help.
Mm-hmm. So they have the rosters. I have the rosters in front of me. We're off to the races. Game starts.
Okay.
And I'm digging in. I'm on a roll. Okay. The guys are with me. And we were busy rolling. We get to halftime. Jody's taking pictures. And this happened. I was like really tensed up. I was really, really tense. So my beautiful bride walked behind me and gave me a massage.
Okay.
Which damn near put me to sleep.
It happens.
Yeah. Here's the second half of it. And Victor noticed it immediately as well as I.
Okay.
Every other woman in that booth was staring at us.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And we're sitting there like, what?
What you mean?
We're not doing that again. We're not doing the what you mean again. We're not. No.
They don't listen. They don't like that.
Of course not.
Because they're not like us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kendrick Lamar.
I don't remember asking you a thing.
Did the second half, did our post game. And we decided we ain't sticking around.
Nope.
Grab our box lunches and get the hell out of Dodge.
And left.
At the point we were damn near sprinting out of the booth.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
We were sprinting out of the booth. Got in the car. Got the hell out of Dodge. And let's just say we were so glad to get home.
Right.
Like, yeah, we got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say I blame you.
You.
And hey, Pizzle. I love you, Pizzle. What you mean is now a part of the Snowman in the Morning lexicon.
Yes, it is.
But
yep.
But we got the hell out of Dodge, found our car, and Jody looked at me and said, "Baby, get us home." I never thought I would do 70 on an Illinois highway and not get caught. But I did 70 from Soldier Field all the way home. Only time I stopped was to get some gas and stretch my legs. That's it.
Damn.
We got back, and Jody said, "I'm going to bed." I'm like, "Baby, I'm coming with you." And we passed out.
I heard you
Right.
say, "Get me out of here."
Exactly. All right. Since this has been a real wacky Wednesday, and thank you again to Mark Martin for coming on. Let's take a break, and when we come back, you know what's coming next.
Damn it, do we have to?
Yes.
With the Lakers playing the Pacers tonight, yes.
Back in a deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
People tell me how lucky my daughter is to have been adopted. But really, we're the lucky ones. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more. so fans can fan.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Well, I hope you all have enjoyed this Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. We are glad to have you with us. And there is something we need to do.
Yep.
We have to.
Yes.
Damn it.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Really?
Crap.
Oh,
All right.
I know it's Wednesday, but really.
Let's get it over with.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. I really, really don't want to do this.
Yes, you do.
But a conversation with a Bronzexual.
Oh,
what you mean?
Why the hell you do that for?
Why?
This Bronzexual approached me.
Oh God!
Don't they usually?
I didn't approach him. I was minding my business.
God help us when that happens.
I was minding my business.
Oh no.
And then a Bronzexual approached me.
Okay.
Said, I've seen you on the air on YouTube. I said, well, thanks. And you're wrong about who the greatest player of all time is.
Uh-oh.
Immediately, my brain went, oh,
Yep. What
Because
is
this
this
person
fool
actually-
about to say?
because this person actually had this.
This moment of Bronzexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic Bronzexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. LJPN, now approve all this.
I still can't believe
I said, how am I wrong?
I still can't believe it's all being paid for by the city fifth still.
I said, how am I wrong for this? And he goes, LeBron James is the greatest of all time. And I'm going, oh, here we go again.
Somebody's drinking the Braun juice.
Yep.
I looked at him and I said, no, he's not.
No,
I got stats to prove it, but I got the feeling you won't listen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he scored the most points. Yeah, it took him 22 years to get there. Doesn't mean he's the greatest.
He's also taking the most L's.
Then the subject of championships came up.
LeBron 4-10, Michael 6-0 in the finals.
And I looked at this guy and I looked away and I went, I must be dreaming. It can't be this easy. He didn't make it easy. Before I could say anything, he said, "You just need to give it up and bow to
Okay.
You have got to be joking me. This fool said that you got to bow to Yo Kang.
Uh-huh. And I said, "You want me to show respect for Braun? I can't do that."
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Nope.
that flipped him upside down. And he says, "Why not?" I said, "Because I've seen better. He can't play all 5 positions. His footwork is trash. His game is trash. And until he learns the fundamentals of the game, which he hasn't and never will, I can't take him seriously." But he's got 4 championships. Yeah. And Kareem has 6, and so does Michael. Next.
Kobe's got 5. All with one team.
Mm-hmm. Same with MJ. And he go and he said, "I'm gonna find something that LeBron has that Michael doesn't." No, you won't. He went away. He came back. And he asked me the stupidest question I have been asked. He said, quote, "Name one thing that Michael has that LeBron doesn't have." Close quote.
Come on, not another layup.
Man, this is a fast break dunk. What are we talking about?
This is a solo dunk in the matter words of Jim Durham. This guy obviously went here.
So I realized that I think even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, and all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating, high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates. Magna cum stupid.
You know, there is something that LeBron does have that Michael doesn't when it comes to the NBA Finals. Losses in these.
Game 7.
That's true.
Michael doesn't need no damn game 7.
Mm-hmm. Now, he gave me this dunk, and I said, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yes, because you can't do it, can you?" All I can think of.
Great googly moogly.
And
Are you kidding me?
And as for the question he gave me, Al.
He did what?
Yeah, he did. He went there.
By the way, this Braun Sexual Confession is brought to you by Braun Joy Juice, the Joy Juice or Braun Sexuals worldwide. Braun Joy Juice, now made with 100% organic seal milk.
Yep. Clap, you seals.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
Braun.
Shut up. even though that's part of the intro.
Yes, it is.
I looked at this and I said, okay, one thing that Mike has that LeBron doesn't. He said, yeah, because you can't do it. At this time, we play this anthem courtesy of Cole Johnson.
Use a troll. Use a troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
I said, okay. I looked at this stupid son bitch and I said, DPOY 1988. Look it up. And then what's DPOY?
Oh my God.
What in the all types of blue hell?
The international look of all Braun lovers.
Oh my god!
I did the smartest thing I could have ever done.
You walked away.
Facing off with a bronze sexual. I packed up my gear and left.
You walked away.
I walked away, leaving him thinking.
No, he probably thought he won. He probably thought he won.
And
he probably thought he won. He probably thought he won
Meanwhile,
the argument.
No, the problem is he took one of these.
We know he took one of those. He doesn't.
I left him to think a little bit. And I walked out.
And he's looking with no answer.
No.
To this day, he's probably still wondering, what does DPOY mean?
I didn't even ask if he was a basketball aficionado, which we can obviously.
We know he's not.
I didn't ask if he actually cared about the game, which we know he doesn't.
You know what would have happened if you did ask? You'd be saying this a lot.
You fool!
Right.
Mm-hmm. I walked away, never to speak to him again. And now I can say with a smile on my face, get the hell out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window. Wow.
Timeout.
Timeout.
First charge, timeout. This is a 30-second timeout. Offense.
Dear bronzesexuals, you.
Here we go again.
Dear social media for introducing us to this clown. You. And dear stations that refuse to let go of his jock strap and thinking he's the face of the NBA. You. You. And you.
Yep.
Oh, and as I said, dear bronzesexuals, even the ones that try to challenge me and know they can't. You, and a whole lot of you. Oh, in case you didn't know, bronzesexuals, you.
Because you heard the last 18 times.
19, but who's counting?
There you go.
Oh, man.
Get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous.
Time.
Second charge, timeout.
Yep.
This is a full timeout offense.
It's a full. Dear Facebook bronzesexuals, you.
An even 20. Maybe even 20.
Dear Facebook group bronzesexuals, you. Dear bronzesexuals who put up these memes with these stupid stats about LeBron, you, and a whole lot of you.
For God's sake.
Now get the out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzesexual Confessions.
one day soon, we're going to have a lot of people watching at once. We're going to figure out a way to really promote this. In the meantime, we're getting out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. And James Harden, you still a bitch. See you tomorrow.
That also goes for Devondre Campbell and Joel Embiid. Y'all bitches too.
And John Cena for being a whiny bitch going into WrestleMania. Bye.
See ya.